All right, welcome to the pregame presser, September 20th presser with Coach Dr. Alvin Parker. This is in advance of the Virginia Union versus Fayetteville State football game on Saturday. And Coach, if we can ask you to open with a statement, and then we will open it up for questions.
We're coming off an opening week conference win versus Livingstone, and we didn't get a chance to play Livingstone last year, so I didn't know what type of team they were and what type of team we're facing. But Coach Gilbert is doing a great job down there with those guys, and they have a lot of good athletes, some good guys that can make some football plays, and I think they're going to win some games this year. They're going to do some things. They have a quarterback that can toss it around, and a bunch of guys on defense that do a good job running around. So, kind of hats off to Coach Gilbert and what them guys are doing down there. So we're kind of moving on to this week. We know the challenges that we're going to face, and we're ready for them. Going up against the four-time Southern Division champs. We know our hands are going to be full, so we got to make sure we bring our A game. So, and we'll be ready for that.
So, Coach, Fayetteville State's and kind of an interesting opponent this week, mainly because they seem to be kind of struggling a little bit on offense. Talk about some of the things that you're seeing out of them to kind of get your defense motivated to sort of keep that going.
I know Coach Hayes very well, and I know the offense coordinator down there, Coach Fagan, as well as also. So I know those guys are going to be prepared. No matter what you've probably seen or what people probably seen, the last few weeks, I think everybody understands the importance of the game with it being another conference game. So I think those guys will be ready. But they return a all conference quarterback. Lane, who was named the preseason all conference quarterback. So, we got to expect some big things from him and be ready for it, but they're young in a few places, but they still have a lot of experience out there on the flanks with some guys that we know can make some plays.
And then from the special teams perspective, it looks like Fayetteville State has a really good kicker who's actually the conference player of the week for special teams. So you kind of know that at least in his case, if you get to the red zone, that there may be some points that you could possibly give up. So again, with the defense playing as well as it is, how do you motivate them to sort of keep them out of that red zone?
Those guys, don't need a lot of motivation a lot of time, Chris. They've been playing well all season. They been getting to the quarterback pretty good. They stopped the run real good. That was something that they did last week. I think they held Livingstone to negative 21 yards rushing. So those guys get after it pretty well. I think the way we prepare and the way Coach Porter and the defensive staff, what they do with those guys on a weekly basis is awesome. And they keep those guys motivated. They keep those guys prepared. I think, you just kind of just dangle that carrot on a string in front of their face and make them guys keep running and keep chasing, let them know there's always some type of goal to reach and something to do out there. I think, those guys will stay motivated, but we have a real talented group over there. And like I said, I'm happy with the defensive staff is getting accomplished with those guys.
So I want to point out a couple of numbers to you. So right now, Virginia Union is number one in scoring offense in the country. Jada Byers and Curtis Allen are number one and two in scoring amongst all offensive players in the country as well. And you're about to face a Fayetteville State defense that has really been pretty stout so far. They've really slowed down quite a bit of in and out of conference team. So talk a little bit about the challenge that the offense faces this week.
Yeah, they're good. We know what they've done in the past, and we know what they've done this season already. They've done a lot of good things with their defense already, and they played against some tough opponents. They played against a good Pembroke team. They played against a real good Wingate team, and they played against an extremely improved Lincoln team. So, their defense has been up for the challenge. So we know, like I said, we're going to have to bring our A game, make sure we continue to do what we've been doing, continue to do what, our guys are good at, and make sure we put our guys in position to have a good game, but their defense is what it is. People think they lost a few guys and all that off that defense that took them to the championship last year, but they still have a bunch of good guys, everywhere on that defense. And Coach Hayes brought in a few guys that he added to the bunch that make that defense a little even better. So, like he's always been in, and it's not our first time battling. We've been, going at this thing for a while, even from our days as both being assistants, with him at Winston and me at Elizabeth City, it's always been a good battle. So I expect nothing less.
And then how do you keep your guys motivated now, given that you have two polls that have Virginia Union in the top 25 now? And I remember the last time Virginia Union was in the top 25 for the coaches poll, it didn't end so well. So how do you keep those guys motivated to stay in that poll and continue to strive higher?
I think we come to work every day, Chris, and we just kind of, we stay within our routine. I don't think it's anything where we say, well, we're going to change this up or we're going to change that up, because our guys work so much better when we keep them on routine. And I think that's how we've gotten to this point. This has been the routine that we've had since we started this thing back in 18, when I first got here. So, it's always been that for the guys. So guys that have been within the program kind of feed it down to the younger guys, and everybody jumps on the same routine. So, and I don't think the routine allow you to get a big head and to get unfocused, because right now we're chasing this thing week by week. So, the first week we started, it was Virginia Lynchburg. The next week we started was Valdosta. The next week we started was Livingstone. This week just happens to be Fayetteville. So, I think we're chasing this thing week by week, so it's hard for them guys to get that end of the year or anything down the, line further in their head, because, we focus on this thing by chopping wood and doing that week by week. So, that's how I think we keep the guys grounded and staying focused.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had a quick question. Well, I want to ask you about Curtis Allen. He's with the 6 touchdowns. He's leading all freshmen in the country in touchdowns to this point. So I was wondering, from your perspective, why was it a guy you felt like was ready to come in, and make a, immediate impact for you guys as a freshman in this program?
When you recruit on a Division II level, it's hard to kind of, plan so much for the future. You got to get guys that you feel like can come in right now and help you, and Curtis is one of those guys. He's from Prince George. He's about maybe 45 minutes away from Richmond, and when we seen him in a playoff game maybe 2 years ago, and we all kind of looked at one another and say, you know what, we kind of picture him in our colors and doing exactly what he was doing in high school, and we were fortunate enough to kind of, recruit him and sign him and get him here. So, when he walked on campus, he looked college ready. He played college ready early on in camp and did some things like that. So we felt good about, putting him in. And when we did, we got results. We got results from, the first few games, that we put him in. And the numbers are the numbers. I think he scored, probably 2 touchdowns every game. And like I said, he's just a true freshman. This time last year, he was playing high school football. So we feel real good about that. And, feel real good about the future that we have with him also.
As a bigger back, what is his value for you guys? Most of those touchdowns to this point have come, in that red zone area, close to the goal line, except for those 2 against Valdosta. So what do you feel like his value is in the red zone as a bigger back for you guys, to complement Jada?
I think it's, he plays for us everywhere. I think it's been just kind of by chance that he's gotten a lot of those red zone things for us, but he can play everywhere for us. He can do all the same things that Jada does. Coach Allen, emphasizes that and does a great job with those backs, and like I said, we know it ourselves and call ourselves, running back you. Like I said, we did that all the way back from my days of playing here as a running back. So, they take pride in it. That whole group is kind of different. All of them bring something different to the table, but I think that whole group can do, what each other does. So, anytime we want to put one of those guys in and do something else, we're going to get results. So we feel pretty good about it. Again, Coach Allen runs a great room and does a great job with those guys and having those guys prepared. So, anybody that we feel like, we slap back there, is going to get it done for us.
Lastly, for me on him, I got a chance to talk to Coach Rowland about him a little early after practice, and he mentioned he feels like Curtis could be special. So you mentioned he came in and looked college ready. What do you feel like is that biggest maybe growth area for him to reach his full potential for you guys moving forward?
I think it's always a small adjustment, for freshmen, just getting adjusted to the whole, aspect of being a college student athlete. In terms of his play, the sky's going to be the limit for him. He's going to get better and better and better as time goes on, but just making sure he adjusts to the whole, way of a college student athlete. I think he does a good job at it now, but making sure he's just taking those adjustments on week by week and getting in the playbook a little bit more and understanding, just the whole offense and everything. But we rely on him heavily right now. So, he plays special teams for us. He does a lot of good things for us. So, I think the sky's going to be the limit for him. And like I said, just adjusting to being that full student athlete on the college level. And that's all freshmen, not just Curtis, but that's every freshman that we have on roster. We gotta have to grab those guys by the hand and make sure we lead them the right way and show them. So when the next group of freshmen get in here, they can do the same for them.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
AD, you got anything for Coach Parker?
No, I've got too much background noise where I am to really effectively ask the question of Coach Parker, but I just want to tell them congratulations on being number one in multiple polls, and good luck this weekend against Fayetteville State.
I appreciate that, AD.
All right. Is there anybody with any other questions before we wrap things up today?
All good. Good luck, Coach.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys for joining today. All right.
All right. We'll catch y'all on Saturday and